So the next theme Maharaj talked about was a nothingness or the void. And he made a statement that was very curious, which is, the nothingness and the void, I have no interest in them. Even the word nothingness and void mean nothing to me. When I first heard him say that, years later I was reminded of His Holiness the Dalai Lama when I first met him. And what he said was, the mind is devoid of mind. In other words, the I, there always is an I or a witness there, even if there's an experience of the void. With the experience of the void, there's an I experiencing the void. Therefore, the I, and all experiences, including the experience of the void, including spirituality, are all I-dependent. If there's no I, there's no void, there is no spirituality. So you have to understand that all psychology and spirituality is dependent upon the belief in the existence of a subject I. But if the subject I is a representation of nothing, a coming together of fluids in the brain, and without the fluids there's no I, then there is no spirituality separate from the fluids. Now, what that means is there's some subtle belief that there's a I, a big I, floating in the sky up there somewhere, or a spirituality that's beyond what we see. But the fact is that spirituality is I-dependent. It is no perceiver, there's no spirituality. In fact, if there's no perceiver, there is no world. And the best single statement I have ever heard is from the Yoga Vasishta. With Sanskrit, it is Drishti Shushti Vada. And it translates as, the world is only there as long as there's an I there to perceive it. As long as there's abstraction going on and an I there, then there's going to be a world perceived. Once that process ends, there is no I, and there is no world. It happens on a daily level. Maharaj used to say, when you go to sleep at night, the I disappears, and you're not, and the world is not. So the entire universe and world is dependent upon, and spirituality and psychology is dependent upon the fluids come together and the I am appears and the abstraction process. No fluids, no I am, no abstraction process, and you are not. The I wants to go on forever. That's why the I has come up with ideas like an afterlife. Maharaj said reincarnation is a concept for the ignorant masses. The I does not want to die. The I wants to go on and on and on. It's actually, what many people don't know, although it should be right up front as far as teaching, is what is the difference between Hinduism and Buddhism? Buddha was a Hindu. Hindus believe there's a separate, individual, independent soul which incarnates from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. What is Buddha's realization under the Bodhi tree 2,500 years ago? There is no separate individual, independent self or soul that transmigrates or incarnates from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. Maharaj used to say it's all an illusion, and the perceiver of the illusion obviously is part of the illusion. What I liked actually is the word mirage. Most psychology and spirituality is trying to make a better mirage. Make yourself into a better mirage. You are a mirage that does not know it's a mirage. And hence, you're trying to make yourself better. Spirituality and psychology and the world and the perceiver of the world is part of that mirage. Maharaj summed it up best when he said, you are the child of a barren woman. And when somebody asked him, well, what am I going to do with my life? He said, now you're making plans for the child of a barren woman.